Now, we get ourselves into a lot of offbeat adventures, but of all the things we thought we'd be doing in New Zealand, shaving sheep butts wasn't one of them. So how in the shearing world did we get here? Good question. See, we're on a road trip around the South Island of New Zealand, but we don't really know where we're going because there's never been a solid plan or even an idea of what we wanted out of this.
Woo! We made it to the top!
And so far, aside from some nasty weather, it's all worked out pretty well.
Welcome to the best roadside attraction in New Zealand.
Because we've had some classic road trip moments.
This is the steepest street in the entire world.
Now we're on our way to the deep south, as far south as we can get on this island.
Can you see it?
Nope, it's a little too far away. I'd be okay to go there next though. You in?
Yeah, on somebody else's boat. This is a real treat. The sun is out, there is no wind, and we are at Slope Point. It's like one of the windiest spots. It's in the southernmost part of the southern island of New Zealand. And it's really close to Antarctica, and the breeze just comes in unobstructed and just slams the trees like this, and they sit there bent over.
Actually, could you just turn and face this way? Nope, other way. Okay, come back to me. I can't quite line it up, but you and the trees have a similar hairdo right now.
Oh, we do?
Yeah. So you look windblown and the trees look windblown.
Oh, it's this, yeah.
So this is the tiny town of Orepuki, and it is all of like 60 people, I think is the population. It's one of those places that you would just blink and pass right by and never even know you drove right through it. And the only reason we know anything about it is because of a couple named Eni and Joshua who reached out on Instagram when they saw that we were going to do a South Island road trip and said, I think you'll like our quirky little town. And that is pretty much how we have ended up here and getting to know this tiny little town that was once like a gold mining town. It used to be like a population of 3,000 back in the day, and now
It's farming.
It's farming, yeah.
My name is me, as you can see, but I don't mind you call me you. I told you that I came for things, but what I said it wasn't.
Clearly we're not the only ones on
Looking
the
for
hunt.
gems?
Yeah. You gonna find me a ruby, honey?
I'm looking for a sapphire.
This is actually a famous beach for its multicolored rocks, and Edie said that we should definitely pop down here and see if we can find a garnet or one of the, I'll have to put on text on screen for what all the other stones are that you can find out here.
So take me somewhere no one else can see.
I wouldn't even know what to look for.
Girl, you are the one for me. My name is changing all the time. One day it's red, one day it's blue. But if you're scared of change, this love will change my name to rhyme with you. So make me someone no one else can be.
Ancient hieroglyphics. That looks like a
Looks like
butt.
It's a heart, damn it! I swear.
It looks like it would be rock, but it's sand.
Yeah, sandstone before it's hard.
It looks really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, minus your butt hieroglyphic.
be there for future generations. So online it says that this is some of the South Island's best surfing, but it does say winter wetsuit recommended all year long. It's pretty chilly. Joshua said, ignore the landscaping, they're still under construction, but the house is mostly done.
This right here is the best part of this intimate yet public life we live. It's the people it connects us to, like Eni and Joshua.
You did almost throw me overboard.
Yes.
Knock me overboard. Boom.
Tried, didn't work unfortunately.
Yeah, let's go have a cup of coffee.
They're fellow sailors and explorers who decided to build this little slice of heaven as a base camp for themselves and soon for other like-minded adventures. Now, Eni is off on a retreat, but luckily Joshua is keen to hang and show us his world.
Yeah, COVID really threw us. The 2-year plan is we're in the 4th year of it now. We're on the home stretch. But yeah, we've obviously designed the building and had that built at very minimal carbon footprint, and utilising as much of local materials as possible was very important to us.
All the way down to the pebbles from the beach.
The timber is all locally grown timber and even furniture and the like. And the wool and the carpet is the wool from the sheep in South Island. So yeah, we've really gone out of our way, but we're pretty happy with the result. We've got a few little things left, namely landscaping outside, and then we should be ready to start welcoming guests in a few months, which will be our springtime, summertime here in New Zealand.
Probably a better time to visit than our winter visit.
Yeah, you brought a lot of rain with you, say.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's still rugged and beautiful when it's rainy, but it just makes the views extra special when you by the fire in those times.
Definitely.
This region, you've got Fiordland National Park, just a stone throw away. We've actually put holding pens in it for Kiwis who want to travel down with their own horse. For people coming from further afar, excellent access to outfitters for hunting, fishing, downhill mountain biking, surfing, wetsuits, definitely bring your wetsuit. We often wake up to whales at the end of our driveway and dolphins and so on. I mean, we've traveled a lot as well, and if you're passionate about your thing, whether that's hiking or nature photography, going to a foreign country and accessing that is daunting and difficult. But all of those obstacles do slide away as soon as you make that one connection, and that just opens the door to all of this local knowledge. And that's been our focus, to try and enable the intrepid sort of traveller to access that. More often than not, those kind of travellers share the same values as the people who are eager to offer and share those experiences. So it's often friendships are forged and lifelong friends are made, and return trips and so on are made there. So that's what we're aiming for.
Cool. Well, I feel like that's definitely what you did for us. So, thank you.
Cheers.
Yes, you were our intrepid connection. Yeah.
Do I look tired? Last night, Joshua asked, what do you guys want to do when you're here? And we said, well, we haven't done anything with sheep yet. Sends a text message out, and apparently now we are going to meet a sheep farmer, do some moving of mobs, and maybe a little bit of shearing. That's what our day's gonna be. Right after this cup of coffee.
One of the first things we bought when we sailed into New Zealand was a couple of locally made wool sweaters, because New Zealand is often touted as being the world leader in ethical wool production. And from a fabric standpoint, wool is easy to appreciate. It's flame resistant, odor resistant, biodegradable yet durable, and is one of the most recycled fabrics in the world. And of course, there's the practical aspect of it, keeping us warm. But that's as close to sheep as we've ever been. Until now. This is Phil, this is his flock, and this is our official day in the life of a sheep farmer.
This should be dead.
Backside.
Nah. I'm just using battery units at the moment. We run the power all the way down here, all these fences, but we've got shorts in the underground cable. I've got to dig out the cable that's there and redo them, get the power down here. So we just use battery units at the moment.
It's just a little solar panel with a
Just
battery.
a wee solar unit.
I'm gonna get off topic here for a second, but it's for a good reason. Because we put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, and the truth is, I probably overdo it. Multiple cameras, multiple microphones, tons of B-roll. In truth, we put about 30 to 60 hours into each video you see here on YouTube. We've made a post about our camera setups, and we've done a video about our mobile office. But we keep getting questions like this. I want to make a video of our trip. What editing program do you recommend? And I want to start a YouTube channel. What's best for a noob? Problem is, I've never had a great answer because I didn't want to overwhelm the new creator with the complicated software that we use for editing. And last month, I noticed my music service was launching a brand new free editing program. They reached out to us, asked us if they could sponsor a video, and I said, hell yeah! I mean, that would be awesome. So the program is called FX Home. It's part of the Artlist family, which is where we get our music, our sound effects, and our motion graphics from. There's a subscription for any level of creator, but today I want to focus on the free plan. I think it's the perfect way to kind of dip your toes in and see if video editing is something you want to do. You'll get a sample timeline like this, which allows you to reverse engineer an edited video. Turn on the Learn panel, and the built-in videos show the basic features of the program and walk you through the steps of how they created the sample video. Once you're comfortable working the timeline, you can watch tutorials on color corrections, animations, intros, and other features so you can level up. You get access to free music and sound effects and templates. You can export in 1080 HD and upload to your social channels like YouTube. But the best part is you can monetize your videos without being flagged, which is huge for a free program. So once you're hooked on editing and you want to up the game, you don't have to learn new software, you just upgrade the plan. The creator plan lets you export in 4K, and it unlocks additional royalty-free music, sound effects, and video effects. The Pro plan unlocks all the features, including 3D motion tracking, 8K exports, and a bunch of professional features. If you use our link in the description, you'll get 23% off. Combine that with the annual plan discount and you'll get the creator plan for $6.25 a month instead of $12.99. Or just click the link, download the free version, and start editing your first video. Okay, enough with the interruption.
Couldn't come to New Zealand and not learn about sheep, and I don't know absolutely anything yet. So, got a lot to learn.
Yeah, time to work. Those aren't live?
Shouldn't be, but oh. No, get up, Sky. Go get up. Get up. Stay there. Sit, Trev. Sit. 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 Good boy. Stay there. Stay there. Come on. Stay there, Trev. Just good. Just good. Just good. Cut them off. Sky. Stay. Yes, Sky. Right. 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 Stay there. Stay there, Sky. Good girl, move up. Good boy, Trev. Behind. Move up, Sky. Is what's known as an idol, and Trev's known as a hunterway, so he chases them back. Behind here, Trev. Trev, come here. Quiet.
yeah.
But if you watch Sky, she knows what to do here.
Oh yeah.
You just watch her.
She goes all the way to the outside.
She'll pop up wide and just make sure they head across where they're supposed to go.
It's impressive to watch the relationship between the dogs and Phil. He's tapping into their natural hunting instincts, what they want to do, but he controls the pressure to make sure that they're working in a calm and controlled manner so that they don't panic the sheep.
Speak, Trev. Speak up. Speak. Speak. They really don't want to go in there. Move up. Oh, no use, Trevor. Don't bark at me, clown. Move up. Boy, come back here. Yeah, hold him, Sky. Hold him. Hey. Good boy. Well done. Well done. And you didn't make me look like an idiot.
Good job.
No cussing required.
It is not normal.
Yeah.
It's only I had guests filming. It was the only reason there was no swear word.
Real quick, explain to me one more time. The dogs are working 2 different jobs.
Trevor here is he's a handy underway. His main work's in the yards, but forcing sheep by barking and that. And Sky is what we call a heading dog or an eye dog. They hold the sheep by eye, like that ram when he come up to her right in her face. She's eyeing him, but of course he got a bit close, and then it's self-defense mode when they do that.
Okay.
But really good dogs are amazing to
Yeah.
watch. Like these guys aren't. Trev there, sadly, he's a bit of a dick. Like we were going to call him Richard. Sky on the other hand, she's a very clever wee dog, but she's really quirky. She's a funny wee thing. She's a bloody dag. Hey, don't look at that. You got me dirty, you clown. Down. We'll get flick with a bit of mud if you want to. Yeah,
Oh, that'll be alright.
pretty scrubby. He hates not being part of it. Yeah, if you're just wandering up. See, he hasn't made too big a dick of himself so far.
No.
Anyway.
The shearing shed.
And take the wool off. I got a grinder for shearing combs and cutters, so that's how we sharpen them.
Wow.
That's what we call a cover comb.
Woo.
So that's for shearing during the winter.
Okay.
So that leaves a bit of wool on them.
Kind of like a guard.
For warmth, yeah.
Yeah.
This is just a cheap electric hand piece I bought specifically for doing this.
And what is it called again that we're gonna do?
Yeah.
Crotching dagging.
And this is what you've always done. You've always been a shearer.
Yeah, well, I'm a farmer. Well, Jeanette's actually the farmer. I do as I'm told. Most of the time. Because we're small, the expenses, we have to do a lot ourselves just to keep the expenses down. I'm too old and sore now to do all the ewes, but I do the sheep that are culled and the lambs. Jeanette Rousey's a nice friend and we share them and things like that. Yeah.
This is the wool from 60 sheep.
When you do full wool ewes, so 12 months wool, You get 60 fleeces, and you don't want the bale weighing any more than 200 kilos. 180 kilos is about what you want.
Okay.
But
so 180 kilos
this year,
and 60 sheep.
I can't get these that heavy. This press won't do it. It's a manual press. I won't get any heavier than 160, 170k.
And when you say manual, are you having to actually hand
Crank her down.
Yeah, hand crank.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bit of work, huh?
Presses back in the day, one man would look after 3 shearers easy using these presses, and they were good at it. Like, and they, you know, pin up the sheep for you as well, press the wool. They worked really hard. Today you can't get a presser to use one of these. My shearing contractor, I use this because I shear, you know, my own lambs and that, and a few odds and sods. But I get a contractor and do the main shearing, and he brings his own hydraulic no tramp press. So on this, you got to jump up in there, tramp the wool down to get her in tight. So these presses now, you just pull a lever and it presses it down itself.
While this looks a little like a barbershop, it's more like going to the spa. But no need to clench those cheeks, ladies. We're not going for a full Brazilian here, just a little trim. And I realize that the term dagging might not sound like a spa treatment. In the sheep world, it's practically a butt facial. This welcome procedure cleans the backside, airs the skin, and relieves the weight of the irritating, dung-heavy wool.
So what's happening today is they are going to shear off around the backside of these sheep because they're about to lamb or give birth, and they want to make sure they are clean so when they give birth it's a lot easier to handle the baby lambs. And, it's really an interesting experience to see it all in person. I had no idea this was even part of the process.
But that's not the only reason for these sheep to line up. Dagging also helps prevent a nasty condition called fly strike, which is when the flies lay eggs in the soiled wool and then the fly larvae attack the sheep's flesh. So having well-groomed sheep means healthier animals, less contaminated wool, and happier wool handlers.
They try to get through there.
When Phil isn't being sidetracked by a couple of camera-toting travelers, he can get in a routine and dag around 100 sheep an hour, which sounds pretty daggone fast.
This is the top competition in the whole wide world. This is the one that every shearer, when he picks up a handpiece, he's wanting to be a part of. Next year is the 60th birthday, and are they coming back? They're coming back, and coming back harder and faster. John Kirkpatrick, Nathan Stratford. I'm not quite sure where Nathan got that extra speed, but he's found it. He's found the lucky pot, and he's making the most of it. At this stage, normally Nathan Stratford would be a half a sheep behind, but look at him, he's actually sticking to the plan. The game plan is happening now. David Buick has now taken command. He's now stepped up into the lead. We will hear the whited upper crowd in the stadium going ballistic, Mava.
Yep, they sure are.
Explain that one more time. Because that's what you've got.
You put a harness on the ram's chest with a crayon on it so that when he mounts the sheep at mating, the crayon mark is left on the sheep and you know when they're mated. Roughly.
So then that's how you know which one's
Gonna lamb first.
is going to lamb first.
So the blue ones are going to lamb last.
Are going to lamb last.
How many were in the other mob?
150 something. Don't know, Phil, I'll give up.
So now all we've got to do is figure out how do we do that for humans, right?
Have a calendar.
If the blue marker.
thought that was pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah, good. Brilliant. Job done. Thank you very much. That's what we call slave labour.
Unpaid?
Get tourists in and then they want to see the real thing, so we make them work.
Welcome to New Zealand. Grab a shovel.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I don't mind the proceeds in the yard.
Not a bad way to spend an afternoon. Come home with a little bit of mud and dirt on me. Yeah, I feel like I actually did something today. It was just interesting to spend an afternoon with a sheep farmer and learn a little bit about what their life looks like around here and where my sweater comes from. I'm liking this little town. Okay, so where the heck are we? What are we about to do?
Welcome to the Orepuki Tavern, the centre of Orepuki's community on a Wednesday and a Friday night.
And one of two businesses in the town, right?
That's right.
There's only one of two places to hang out. When the cafe closes, you gotta come here.
You can turn up here with a need and it will be met by the community, whoever it is.
How you going?
It's an extremely well-lit bar with a lot of friendly faces, but they do have one rule.
Well, you see, what happens at the Orepuki Tavern has to stay at the tavern, so I can't tell you about any of it other than I came out with a bag of proper crisps.